Be More Show. Coming through strong with that podcast flow. Sunday afternoon at 2 to 3 p.m. slot. Got the Interstate 95 Turnpike hot. When you tune in, they don't just entertain. They come with the message that presses the brain. Those other podcasts, they seem microscopic. Cause they're the big dogs that drop the hot topics. So sure, be more dumb. You just stay ready for DJ Boom, Shaheem, and Montemi. Put them together, there's a treacherous string. From the tri-state area to the DMV. So sit back, relax, get your Sundays on. On after morning, gone before dawn. That positive vibe that we hitting so strong. With this podcast show, you can't go wrong. So, here we go, here we go. 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 What's up, everybody?
What it do, what it do, what it do.
And welcome back for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. I am one of your hosts, the one, the only Shaheem.
And I'm another of your hosts. I am Deborah Singletary, aka I'm Debbie.
We out here making it do what it do. It's yours truly, DJ Boom, here making it do what it do each and every Sunday. Right along with these two. What's happening, everybody?
Yes, of course he is. And yes, of course we are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready. I hear they ain't ready.
I heard they ain't ready. And it's good to see everybody back with us again for another fantastic episode. We got a lot to talk about. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get the show on the road. Our topic for today, helping or enabling, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Right, guys?
I'm
Absolutely.
for it.
I'm here for it, too. I can't wait to get into the conversation, everybody. Before we do that, though, I want to mention last week's show, of course, resurrecting, reinventing, and reimagining, everybody, the chrysalis effect. That was another fantastic episode, everybody. And so, if you missed it, I hope you caught it, but if you missed it, you can go back and you can catch it on our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. And as you do, please don't forget to subscribe. And of course, shooting back to next week, again, happy birthday on Debbie. I hope you enjoyed that day.
Still celebrating.
Yeah, thanks for everybody who commented on last week's show. We got a lot of comments, everybody. So we hope we get a lot of comments on this show as well, everybody. I couldn't help but play this song. I'm feeling good today, everybody. I'm feeling really good. It's just a good day to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you're feeling good out there, too, everybody. It's going to be a great day.
I absolutely am. When I wake up, when I'm able to get up in the morning and do my little workout, start my day real early. And then I can lay back down and get ready for the show on Sundays. I'll be excited. It does something to me.
Right. As I can see, you got your guns out.
Yeah, I had to bring the pecs out today. I had to show them off. They was looking a little nice. So I said, let me let everybody see.
He's a gentleman. I try to talk to him.
All right. And while we're talking about things, I want to also recognize our Facebook family. We be getting so many
What's
views
up, everybody on Facebook?
on Facebook. Oh man. We can't thank you guys enough for all your support. Continue to support the show. Thank you very much, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed today's show as well. And while we're talking about things, before we start jumping into things, I gotta give a big shout out to all of my nerds out there and say, check it out. Happy May the 4th, everybody! Boom, I know you can appreciate that. To all my Star Wars fans out there.
I am not a Star Wars fan, to be perfectly honest.
What?
I was never. I saw the first three. That's it. Then when they went backwards and came forward, and I didn't see any of those. So,
hey, Naisha.
That was it. You know, I got to
Right,
admit to it. I just
right.
superhero stuff. You got me hooked all day, but I don't know. The Star Wars stuff just didn't.
Well, I grew up on it, and I'm a big fan, like a lot of people out there. So, to all those who recognize the day, happy May the 4th, happy Star Wars Day. I just wanted to say that, everybody. Also, I want to mention this too. Also, we were seeking, trying to figure out what topics to do every show, everybody. But one thing we are bringing back Battle of the Ages, everybody, and we are looking for contestants. Now, if you've never seen that before, what it is, it's a game that we play on the show where the older people challenge the kids. And I mean kids, everybody. If you want to be a contestant, you can't be 50-year-old and your child is 30 years old. That's not the way the game plays. We mean actual children, everybody. So yeah, if you want to be a contestant, you can contact us at our email from the shore to be more at gmail.com. And I hope you guys do. All right, we're looking forward to that, right?
And it definitely can be parents and young grandkids, because we got some young
Yes.
grandparents these days now. And so if you're a young grandparent and you have an 8, 9, 10-year-old, grandchild, jump on board.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right,
because
thank you.
my siblings love Star Wars. Gordon is a huge fan of Star Wars. Let me put the comment up there. Yeah. They're huge fans of it. I'm not knocking it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not knocking it. I saw the first 3 and
that was
Star
enough for you.
Wars, Empire Strike Back, Return of the Jedi, and yeah, I was good after that. It is what it is. Hello, Miss
Okay.
Teresa Phillips.
Hey, Teresa, thanks for tuning
Hi,
in.
Teresa. Hey, Teresa, hang in there. We're going to talk about some stuff later.
Oh yeah, we are. We're definitely going to get into it. I just want to mention this, and then we'll keep the show rolling. For our family, Boom, yours and I, the Taylor Family Reunion is coming up, everybody, and we hosted 1 year at the Taylor Family Reunion, guys. You guys remember that, right?
Oh, I loved it.
Absolutely, good time.
Yeah, it's coming up, and it'll be on Saturday, June 28th, everybody, of this year, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can order your T-shirts, everybody. I'm sure Karen would appreciate that, and Karen would also appreciate your help. So, for those who want to help, please contact Sharon at this number here, everybody, Karen, so we can go ahead and take some of the weight off of Karen's shoulder this year, everybody. All right? So I just wanted to mention that. So let's go ahead and do that, okay? Right, guys?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time to be had. I do
Definitely.
know for sure that I will not make that one because I am already booked for an event on June 28th. So I definitely know I will not be there, but I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic time either way. What up, sis? Welcome to the show this
birthday
morning.
Girl.
Right, that's the other birthday girl. Probably still celebrating too.
Probably still celebrating. I'm gonna mention this real fast, guys, because we gotta keep this ball rolling. But it's also our big reveal day, everybody. For those who haven't been paying attention, we are gonna change our logo. We're gonna change a few things as the week goes on, and we're hoping that you're engaged for the change, everybody. And today's gonna be our big reveal day. We have chose a logo, and I'm gonna show everybody, or we're gonna show everybody later on in the show. All right, guys?
Okay.
Okay,
Listen,
all right.
I'm still vibing off the
Okay.
music in the background.
Right. Me too.
That's definitely a feel-good song right there. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I hope you feel good. I hope everybody out there is feeling good. And while y'all out there feeling good, we're gonna keep the ball rolling.
Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, get on up. Turn it up. Now we gonna have us a good time.
We definitely gonna have a good time, ladies and gentlemen, and happy birthday to all you tourists out there celebrating your birthday either today, in the upcoming week, or the past week. The three of us want to celebrate your birthdays with you, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Right.
We shouted you out last week, but we don't mind shouting you out again. Boom's sister, my niece, Wanda, just had a birthday,
She did.
and she exudes the most positive aspects of Taurus in her creativity, in her nurturing, and in her sensuality.
The queens of the zodiac, huh?
Right.
Okay.
I was going to say, well, what about the Taurus men? Uh-oh. I didn't say it, you did. I didn't say it, you did. It is what it is.
What about
Absolutely.
the
Taurus men are a little too conservative for me.
No, I'm saying she called the Taurus is the queens of the zodiac. What about the Taurus men? I don't know if the men want to be the queens of the
No,
zodiac.
the Leo man is the king of the zodiac.
What? Says who? Says who? That's
I'm making
what
this
they
stuff up,
that's what they
okay?
telling themselves. anyway, do you got listen? Oh, Debbie, do you have somebody who you want to shout out today?
I have one person for next week.
Okay.
The same person Boom has probably, but whatever.
We'll be looking forward to it. All right, Boom, you got anybody you need to shout out this week?
Yeah, I got to shout out my nephew Jalen. His birthday was yesterday. So shout out to Jalen turning 14.
Woo.
So I can't believe this young man is 14. Good grief, time just fly. So Jalen celebrated the birthday yesterday, and one of my good friends, Letitia, her birthday is today. Oh, well, yesterday, absolutely. So happy birthday to her. And those are the only two I got as far as Taurus birthdays. Like I said, we shouted out Aunt Debbie and Naja and Tawanda last week. That's all I got for you.
All right. Well, happy birthday to all those Tauruses. And I see the comments rolling in, guys. Keep the comments rolling in. Boom, please stay on top of it because I am not touching that. That is
this is the fact right here. Don't even say nothing, cause this is the fact. That's a fact right there.
I
You
thought
know where it
Aries
comes
were the
from.
kings of the zodiac. Oh,
There it is.
Yeah. We ain't about
There
to
it
start
is.
that.
Woo, there it is.
We is not about to start that. That's for daggone sure. Anyway, me personally, I don't have any personal birthdays that I need to shout out this week, everybody. I'm sure I have some coming up, but not this week. But I do have some stars, some celebs that I'd like to recognize if you guys don't mind.
Happy birthday to Tawanda's friend Danny.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hopefully you're watching the show. I just have a couple celebs I want to shout out, guys. I want to first shout out this guy here, everybody. And that would be Dwayne Johnson, everybody. May the 2nd actually was his birthday. So shout out to The Rock, who seems to be starring in absolutely every movie ever made these days. But happy birthday. I wonder how old he is. I should have found that one out because I'm curious. But
The Rock is 52.
52? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought he was older? Okay.
Well, he's been around so long.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, happy birthday to him anyway.
No, he's just been in the spotlight so long.
You're right. You're right.
Good point. I just got a couple more guys. I want to recognize this young man here. Happy birthday to Chris Breezy, everybody, whose birthday is actually coming up on May 5th. Happy birthday to
Happy
him.
birthday to Chris Chris Brown. I'm sorry, I was mixing that all up. But happy birthday to him.
But shout out to Chris anyway. And I would also, my wife is gonna love this one right here, I'm sure. To this young lady here, Tina Atkins Campbell, one half of gospel group Mary, everybody. Her birthday is actually May the 1st. But happy birthday to her. One of my wife's favorite. I hear this song so much around my house, it's incredible. I gotta tell you.
Listen, I didn't dare, sis. It is what it is. He did what he did. He do what he do. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't have a whole documentary about me beating on women. I mean, about my backstory.
Okay, well, anyway, back. Look, a couple more. I'm going to keep this thing rolling. I'm going to say happy birthday to this guy here, too.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
You all know this guy here. Everybody knows him. Ray Parker Jr., everybody. I know you youngsters don't know his name, but you know the song for sure. And actually, May 1st was his birthday.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters. They still making that Ghostbusters franchise still live on. That's incredible.
Yes, it is.
It's still living on. But
And the last one wasn't too bad. The one with the girls, you know.
Yeah.
But the last one wasn't too bad.
I like the one with the girls, though. I'm just gonna put that out there. One more, everybody, and I'm just gonna keep this ball rolling. Okay, I'm gonna keep the ball rolling. One last one. This guy just had to shout out. Happy birthday in heaven to the legend himself, the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown, May 3rd, 1933 to December 25th, 2006. Happy birthday in heaven to the legend himself. Happy birthday.
Oh my God, he's so sexy. Oh my God.
Boy, Taurus men rolling, huh? That's two for
That
two
man.
for two. The only one that ain't under litigation is The Rock. I'm sorry, I got to be bringing stuff up.
I had to play that video a little longer, ladies and gentlemen, because he had not just the way he entered onto the stage, but he even made a big deal about the way he exited the stage. Everybody, shout out again to the legend, the Godfather himself, Mr. James Brown. And those are my picks. I hope you enjoyed that. All right.
Happy birthday to posthumously to James Brown. And correction, The Rock turned. I forgot it is his birthday. His birthday passed, so he did turn 53. So he's 53 years old.
Okay, 53, younger than me. That's crazy, but hey, he's still looking good. Shout out to The Rock again. All right, everybody. To those celebrating your birthday either today or if you're having a celebration of any kind, we would sure love to show up and be a part of it. And this is a way that you can make us a part of it, everybody.
To level up your birthday party or any celebration, you need to call Shush Entertainment for your solid disco party experience, hosted by our own DJ Boom. Looking for that special gift? Look no further than jayztrades.com for a custom image 3-piece set for that special someone in your life. Or, if you're interested in an astrological reading, contact business carriers to find out how the stars are lining up for
you. Ooh, I found love. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Get in contact with us. We want to show up to all of your celebrations, your cookouts, your weddings, whatever, because we want to eat some of that delicious food that you
Absolutely.
make for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, cuz. Thank you. Appreciate that. Absolutely. We hungry too.
So please reach out, everybody. And while you try to reach out, we are going to be doing this.
You know, I guess right now we should start the show.
Must-see TV and movies, everybody. One of my favorite things to do on the show, because I like to hear what you guys are watching out there. So, let's hear what you guys got. Give me something interesting to see.
Well, interesting to me anyway is Magpie Murders on PBS.
Magpie Murders?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an older series?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I thought I might have heard of that. Okay.
I don't know, actually, but I know I enjoyed it. It's PBS, but you can also see it on Prime, so you have to pay a little something for it. I love mysteries, so that's my recommend this week.
Magpie Murders. Okay.
It's a series, maybe 6. I found it entertaining.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your pens out. Write these down. Magpie
What y'all
Murders.
got? What y'all got?
Well, I watch. I don't know. I think it was a suggestion from the show. I think, but some. I started watching the series You on Netflix.
Oh, I like that.
Um, it is a it's a thriller type series. Interesting. It's about a guy who falls for women and then he dives deep into their lives. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's very interesting. I think that's something Terry would enjoy, or even Auntie, even Sis Tawanda would enjoy that.
Okay.
And I did watch Wolfman, the new Wolfman movie.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Okay, I didn't see the movie, but I saw that it was
Right.
out.
Yeah. So I watched it. I've absolutely not that I get scared, but um, yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. It could have been
Oh,
worse.
okay.
To me, I didn't think it was that bad. Um, so if it's a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, you ain't got nothing to do, go ahead throw the movie on. I think it's enjoyable enough for an evening like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it,
With
it,
your
it
lady,
wasn't
sitting down with your lady, maybe a little
right. Yeah,
scary.
yeah, it
Okay.
wasn't bad. Wasn't bad because she definitely gonna jump. She gonna jump, so she might jump and be in your arms if that's what you're looking
Oh
for.
my God, how sexist is
But
this?
Hey, hey, we got to use
you
every
know,
trick we can, right, guys?
right.
Right,
That's the whole
fellas?
point.
We got to use every move we know, every move in the book, everybody. Thanks, boo.
Absolutely.
All right, well, yeah. Was that your last one? I got Let me see.
Yeah. That was the two that I had on the list to watch. I already mentioned the movie The Companion. So yeah, that was
Okay.
it.
I got two. One is I want to just reiterate this one here is Black Mirror from last week. This actually has it's a series. It's in its 7th season. I really just started watching it, but I had no idea how good that this is. Everybody, let me tell you, I'm absolutely loving it. So I want to go back and say that one again. You gotta go catch that, everybody. It's on Netflix. Netflix, you always check. The next one, um, yeah, you have to check it out. We'll check it out together. Dave. The next one, I don't have a picture of this one. I wish I had, but this one is also on Netflix, everybody. And this one is a documentary. I just love documentaries. They just do it for me. This one was 137 shots, everyone. That's the name of the documentary. What it is about. It was about the shooting of a black man in Cleveland, where there was 137 shots. Him and a young lady. 137 shots fired at these unarmed people. It was after a car chase, okay? A police chase that included over 60 police vehicles were involved in this chase after this unarmed couple, everybody. I don't want to give everything away. It was riveting, and it could be upsetting. I'm not even going to lie to everybody, but I thought it was absolutely magnificent. I'm going to use that word. So, if you have a chance and you're not watching us, go back and check 137 shots on Netflix, everybody. And those are our picks. Hope you enjoyed that, everybody.
What about you, the viewers? What are you guys watching? Or what suggestions you may have for us to watch? I do know I will be in the movie theater on Tuesday watching the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. I will be checking that out. Um, I was going to check out Sinners. I keep hearing mixed reviews on the whole Sinners movie. So we'll see about that. But I'm definitely going to check out the Marvel movie, Thunderbolts, and I'll report back on Sunday of my findings.
Let us know what you thought. And anybody out there who saw Sinners, comment on the show. Everybody, comment on the show. Let us know what you thought about our picks, about those movies. And if you have show ideas, topics that you think our wonderful audience would love, we would sure love to hear from you. Or if you're a business, can't forget that wants to sponsor our beautiful program here. Here's how you can get in contact with us.
To contact us, you can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment, join the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You could also watch, like, and comment during the show on our social media pages. Our Facebook or Instagram is at From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is at 2_Be More. And our email is fromtheshore@gmail.com. You could also call the show at 732-455-2503. If no one answers, please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you. And please, tell a friend.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Please tell a friend. All right, it's not just our show; it's your show too. And now,
Teresa,
go ahead.
Teresa asked about Sinners real quick.
Mhm.
I have not personally seen it. I just keep hearing mixed reviews on it. So I am going to. I may check it out for myself just to be able to report back to the show and see what it's all about. But
Is it a
I
movie?
keep yeah, it's in the movies right now. It stars Michael B. Johnson. Um,
Michael B.
he's the
Jordan.
star. Jordan, there you go, that guy. And so yeah, so I may check it out just to be able to report back to the show.
All right, let us know.
Just to get on you, Teresa, if he doesn't like it.
As she stated, she's heard mixed reviews as well. So we shall see. You know, I know some people be over expectations of what they look for in movies. So I don't know. You know, I'll be the judge of it. Not that I'm the end all be all, but I feel like I'm a
Well,
better judge of
you
character.
the end all be all to me.
Again, for viewers out there who might have seen it, comment on the show. We'll make sure to get your comments up. Boom, you on top of the comments, right?
Right.
You got it. Okay, so yeah, Boom will make sure that he gets your comments up. All right? Now it's time for that moment, that time that you all been waiting for so patiently for. It's time for us to jump into this topic of ours today. We want to hope you make you enough. I probably agree with you. Our topic today, ladies and gentlemen, helping or enabling, everybody. Helping or enabling. That's a fine line. That's a thin line. Everyone, and I guess it could be different for everyone, especially whether you're dealing with.
I don't think it's a thin line.
Okay, we're going to disagree. We're going to get into all that.
Difference.
We're definitely going to get into all of that, especially like depending on who you might be dealing with. Whether you're dealing with someone, say you're a counselor at a program, or you're dealing with an actual relative, maybe as close as your son, daughter, husband, or whatever. Helping or enabling. When does it end? When do you start? All right, everybody, let's jump in. Let's get into this. Does it have to be situations of just addiction? Because you always hear that a lot. Like people always becoming more likely to be enablers when it comes to situations where addiction.
Yeah, I think we need to define enabling before we do that, and talk about the distinction between supporting and enabling. So supporting is usually a short intervention. Somebody perceives that like once I had a eviction notice. This was back in the 80s, and friends came to my support. So, but once they came to my support, I got myself together and I didn't need that support again. Enabling is often longer term, and it creates dysfunction in the individual who's being helped. So it's not one of my first observations of being an enabler was when a woman came to me and said she wanted to get her grown son out the house, she said. Mm-hmm. And I asked some questions. And what I could hear was that the son was there because she wanted him there. Ooh. She may have been unconscious, so she was setting it up so that he wouldn't leave, either by sending signals or making it easy for him to stay.
Right.
And so why would he go when he's being supported? So then So that's one example of a person who might be enabling that has nothing to do with addiction.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
yeah.
In fact, it was a situation like that that actually one of the things that even brought us to this conversation, because we all saw this video of a guy. In fact, I got the video. Let me play this video,
No,
everybody.
it's too. Don't play it. It's just
Well, I want to play a little bit of it. I'm not going to play the
uh,
whole thing, but I do want to play a little.
okay.
And it is ridiculous, and the audience can make up their own minds about it.
All
But I'm
right.
going to
Go
play a
ahead.
little bit of it. So
It's your
people,
show.
it's our show. Stop playing.
Why are you suing your father for $50,000?
Because I don't have any money to my name. He's loaded, right? Him and my mom are loaded.
Okay.
And if they want me out of the house, they're going to have to help me out a little bit. So I figured I'll leave the house, but you got to give me at least 50 G's so I can go out and get a place to stay.
You're 45 years old.
Yes, sir.
You said you haven't worked since 2008?
No, when I had all those issues.
Okay.
And I can't get a job now.
So for the past 16 years, you've been living in their residence off of their money, off of their welfare,
Like
off
I
of their
should.
care. And you think that you're entitled to that.
I'm definitely entitled to it.
How do you figure that? Because they
Because-
brought you into the world and it's their responsibility to take care of you.
Yeah, like if you
Okay, so that's the other side. That is not about the parents enabling. That's about a son feeling entitled, but that was likely started by the parents. And very often, parents will enable children or from the time they're children, and they're actually sending the message that they will always be there, that they can always come back home. And I know I never thought of coming back home to my mother's house. You know, it was not in my psyche because she raised us in such a way that I understood that I was expected to be out on my own. I do want to observe that times are different now, rents are different, and sometimes adult children might need to live at home. So I do not intend to be judging. But I have also seen parents help children tie their shoe, and the child is big, and I go, what are you doing? And they are tying his shoe. I'm saying, no, you got to let him flounder. You got to let the child make mistakes, because it's by making mistakes that they build muscle.
It's absolutely that's how they learn. I was just watching documentary talked Roman Reigns, wrestler, The Rock's cousin, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
wow. I didn't even
he
know.
said his father, he's in the pool and he can swim. You know what I mean? So he's in the pool
One
and
of these
his
situations, huh?
right, his father comes up to him and said, "Well, how long are you going to sit there and be flip flopping around, or you're not even going to get in because
Right.
you can't swim?" So his father literally picked him up and threw him in the deep end.
Yeah.
And he went down to the bottom, but when his feet touched the bottom, of course he started doing what he needed to do to
Right.
come up. At that point, he learned to swim. Now people could look at that as, oh, that was too much, blah 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 blah. But he learned to swim, didn't
Yeah, well,
he?
parenting was a lot different when I was young, as opposed to now. That's for sure. Yeah, you hear that story a lot when I was a kid of a kid being tossed by his parent into the water to learn how to swim. Fortunately, I learned how to swim on my own. My dad, even though he was a swimmer, didn't do that to me. But yeah, you heard that a lot.
Yeah, but he taught you, so that's
no, he didn't
another-
teach me.
He didn't teach you. You learned it.
I
So
learned
who
it.
are enablers? What's the character of an enabler? And enablers are fix-its. They're people who
Okay.
often perceive there's a problem and they have the solution. So they may, because they're so strong in fixing it, they may go about fixing it for the other person, and the other person may dig it and let them. And
You hear about-
and sometimes enablers feel they have discomfort with somebody's struggle. So let's say my child is struggling in some way. She's having difficulty, paying the rent, or, with money. I might, as a short term, give her some money or give him some money. But if I can't tolerate my child struggling, or my even my friends or my adults, I am actually enabling them to make me feel better. And that's a subtle difference. We feel better. It makes us feel strong.
Okay.
It makes enablers feel, better about themselves. And
Okay.
sometimes it
Some
makes them
situations.
feel, superior, but they
Well, I
are.
think you brought up a good point
Mhm,
when you mentioned that in enablers, sometimes there's that feeling of gratification by helping someone, or having someone need them or depend on them.
mhm,
You see that, I know, in relationships, and shout out to all the ladies out there. There's no disrespect to them. I'm just using this as an example. Where you see a woman who's taking care
mhm,
of a person, or a guy. Let's not even do that. Or a guy who's taking care of a person who, say, might be unemployed. Okay, month 3 rolls around, this person's still unemployed. Month 5, month 6 rolls around, this person's still unemployed. And
mhm,
even though the other person is saying, well, you need to get a job, meanwhile, they're still taking care of everything. They're still doing everything. They come home, this person's still on the couch, and they're not really, really getting on them the way they should, and
mhm,
enabling this person to be the way they are,
mhm.
because inside, subconsciously, they like the fact that this person is dependent on them.
They like it. It makes
That
them.
it makes
It
them, yeah,
makes
it
them
makes them
feel.
feel,
It
uh,
makes
uh,
them
uh,
feel good about
them,
themselves. And very often,
right.
enablers have a perception problem. They look at people and they go,
That's
"Oh, I
interesting.
feel
That's
sorry for
interesting.
you." They look at other people and determine that that person is weak and needs their help. So sometimes where I'm going to hurt whoever this is. So sometimes, oops, no, I'm not. That was last week's show, wasn't it? A couple of
The
weeks
week
before.
before, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
so I'll stop you. I'm
okay.
still dealing with those issues.
Check those shows on
A
YouTube,
lot of
everybody.
times it's how you sometimes enablers, they feel superior. They think they know, and they're looking at somebody and they're
That's interesting.
judging that that person can't get along
That
without them, or
that's
they
interesting.
don't have faith in that other person. So sometimes they need to fix their concern. When my children get in trouble, and you know what I mean by my nieces, my nephews,
Right.
my peoples, it when they get in trouble, I that is time for me to have faith
Mm.
in how that they can do it. If I
That
look
they
at
can
you
do
and
it.
say,
That they
"Oh, you
can do it.
can't do it without me," I am actually weakening rather
So,
than helping.
boom. Do me a favor. Can you go back and put up a comment that Teresa had up, please? I think you should start grooming your kids at a young age to know they must go at a certain age. That's an interesting point. I know
Mhm,
from I know in most households, I can't speak for every household. Well, I just gotta go over my own experiences. It was kind of known that once you got a certain age, that it was expected, whether you did or not. It was kind of, you listen. Let's
mhm,
start the process. Let's get this emotion.
mhm,
I think that's the
mhm.
idea in most parents. They don't want to forcefully just throw their kids out, but they want them to get the idea that around a certain age, you should be starting to find a life for yourself. At least start the process. I think I
Mhm.
agree with on Debbie that in today's world, wow, it is super hard these days for these kids out here. I totally get that. So your child might be with you a little longer than maybe in the past, and that's fine. That's fine. But as long as they're starting the process
And
Even
the,
even even that
okay,
is an excuse, though. Even that is an excuse.
yes, yes,
okay,
The times are harder than it was when we was coming up. The times was hard. When our parents was coming up, the times was hard.
times were
Da, da,
hard.
da, da, da. You know what I mean? So
Right,
that
boom.
can't be the reasoning behind
Mhm,
why we go over above and beyond. Like Teresa said, we're
mhm,
not teaching them that they gotta get out. And when I say we, I'm not talking about me specifically, just in
mhm,
general. We're
okay.
not teaching them that. I think
mhm,
parents form these habits and they want to keep their kids with them, you know what I mean? And they
Okay.
form a
mhm,
habit of having them around.
Well, I disagree
When
in
when it
some
when it
ways.
comes to that sort of enabling, because there's
Okay.
different types of enabling.
Right.
Even the my 600 pound life folks, when they 900 pounds, they can't get out of bed, but somehow they're still eating. Somebody's giving them the food. You know what I
Hello.
mean?
Yeah.
So what are
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
doing?
No.
And that to me is a power trip. And I've
Well,
seen it a couple
I
times in an
disagree
episode.
in some ways, because I think for most people, especially when you're dealing with a loved one, it could be a fine line. It's tough because you love that person. So and you don't really want to. Well, I don't want to say use hurt as a word. That's something I can think of off the top of my head. But you don't want to hurt that person in some ways. And so you're doing your best to walk a thin line. You want to push. Of course you want to push. And you may even understand that it's the best thing for that person. But it's not so easy all the time. I think consistency. Can I say that? I think consistency is important, right? If that's the path that you're going to decide to walk, then stay consistent with it, right?
So when you say it, when we say it's tough, what we might be dealing with is our own feelings about it.
Maybe.
We feel it's tough, and we don't have faith. I'm kind of in line with Boom that although the ways that we support ourselves may not be the way we did it, and when I was growing up, you got a job and then you paid rent. We might need to be more creative and resourceful.
Mhm.
But and I don't think a parent always has to push. My parents never pushed me, but they had the expectation that I would be an independent woman. And of course, I'm a Taurus with a lot of Aries. I could put it on, maybe I could say that's how I was. But there's not a single sibling of mine, not a single sibling of mine who didn't leave home while they were teenagers. I think it had to do with the expectation and the fact that we had a father who we saw go to work every day. My father never laid in the bed sick. When he was older and finally had a hernia or something, was in the hospital, I fainted because I had never seen him sick before. So my mother was an independent woman. So I think it has to do with my mother didn't need us to define her value as a human being. And I say mother because I think enabling might be easier for women to do because we're already groomed to be nurturers and we get our identity from nurturing and we get our self satisfaction from nurturing. So we sometimes nurture out of habit, not out of concern for the adult.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I'm gonna explain to you why.
How
But first, I
dare
just want to
you?
read. I just want to read this. Or Boom, please read this comment that Teresa put up for me, please.
They're like an arrow you pull. You pull the arrow back with nourishment, manners, education, and so on. Then at that age, you let the arrow go.
So
Um,
that makes it sound like a more natural process, not a pushing process. So, I like that definition.
Well, I want to shout out your parents and your siblings for being
Mhm.
able to manage things the way that they did. But my mom put me out, and I can't say I was going to leave easy. Did I want to leave? Of course, I'm going to leave my mother. My mother's house had rules. All right, that was number one. And if anyone's been watching the show, you all probably already figured out that I'm probably not the best person with rules.
Oh my
And
God.
so, yeah. Shout out to my mother. I'm gonna see you later on, my mom. Right after the show, I'll be right over. Yeah, but my mom and I guess my stepfather a little bit, but he probably let my mom handle things more or less when it came to things like that with us. But my mom forced me out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it time? Yeah, it probably was time. No, I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah, it was time. But it could. I know my mom enough to know that it wasn't easy for her.
Oh,
I
of
know that
course.
that much, and so that's
Yeah.
the thing that I point to when I say that it's tough. It's
Yeah.
for a person to do. Necessary, probably so, but it's not always easy.
So your
You know,
mother
and
was a supporter. She supported you. She supported her values of you being able to go out on your own. Enabling, on the other hand, it means helping people to self-harm. So
are you reading from the
enabling,
dictionary or something? Is that what
no,
it says? Oh,
no.
okay. I'm
Let
sorry.
me
I'm
tell
sorry.
you how I prepare for the show. I
Okay.
take out my journal
Uh-oh, I like that.
I take out my journal and I make notes, and I don't look at AI
I
because
like that.
I want it
I
to
like that.
come, because I believe that we have the wisdom within. And
Wait a
so,
minute. Are you insinuating that Boom and I get our stuff from AI?
no, I am not. Oh my God.
This is from the
So,
heart. This is genuine.
so enable, no, I don't. But I don't, I sometimes, I will look up the definition of something.
Right, right.
You know,
Oh yeah,
um,
absolutely,
so I
absolutely,
do that.
right.
I'm all for it. However one gets the information, but for me, I like it to come from myself. I often get
Right.
more, and one of the things that I came up with is that when you enable, you are actually harming, and
In some
enabling
ways, yes.
people
Some ways.
usually think they're helping. There's,
Right.
so they may call it supporting. Now, I am not talking about the kind of support I give to my brother who's an elder, and in a
And
nursing
physically
home,
unable. We're not
and
talking about
physically
that.
unable.
No, that's different.
But even then, I have a brother. I better not tell that story. But
Oh, don't get in
then,
trouble.
even then, so sometimes people have children who come out with mental, emotional, or physical difficulties. And if you're by nature, if you have a tendency to be an enabler, you better go study something, because it's so often that the parents are trying to protect that child. What the parent has to think about from day one is that they are going to die someday. And in the natural order of things, although it doesn't always go like that, they could die before that child. And so, even if you have someone and you deem they're helpless, you are giving them the identity of being helpless. I sometimes go around saying, I can't paint, I'm tired. And then I see some kid, some man with a paintbrush between his toes painting. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
Somebody said to that person, just because you are handicapped or
Right.
differently able being
Differently
the
able.
operative word,
There's
it
your operative
doesn't
word.
mean you can't do something. But if you have a child and you just feel sorry for them because they're differently able, then it's your lack of vision that may actually be doing some harm to that child. And actually, enablers are also self harming. They are harming themselves. So, the consequences of being an enabler,
Hmm.
one, resentment. Very often people are helping, but they're resentful. And, well, this is the last $100 I'm giving you. And they say that every week.
And it don't be right.
Don't be. Well,
They say that
consistency. Consistency.
if
Important.
you're an enabler and it's about money, you're depleting funds. You may be
You're
depleting
hurting
your
only
own
yourself.
funds and your own
Self.
well-being.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're an enabler, you might be in emotional stagnation and lack of awareness. Rather
Mm.
than live your own life, you choose to live another life. And also, enablers often get tired and fatigued, even unto death. And many an enabler, and in some instances, unhealthy caretakers, they die before the people they're helping. So, this is a very serious topic. I,
Yes,
I
it
have
is.
I have
Yes,
children
it is. I
who
agree.
who used to call me, or usually it was a text, and they would say, "Oh, can you give me $15? I'm hungry." And I go, "Oh, yeah, yeah, sure." Because, I always have to, well, don't nobody ask me for $15. I don't have it today. But I might want to,
I
and
was
then
just
I
getting ready to,
know,
but go ahead.
don't. Uh, and then I get it again and again and again. And then one day I figured out, oh, when they say they're hungry, and the trigger for me is my baby is hungry. What they mean when they say they're hungry is they want to go to Chick-fil-A. So if you're so if you're really hungry,
Chick-fil-A, you owe us a check, by the way.
you take that $15 and you buy potatoes or rice, some either cans of sardines. Probably you could get three, or you get some chicken wings, and I don't mean from the Chinese store. You get them, you buy them, you cook them, you get some vegetables,
That
and
old
they,
saying.
you know, if you're really hungry. So what I learned is, oh my God, you know, they're spending their money how they want, and they want my money so that they can go. And I have to say to
Absolutely.
myself, Deborah, Aunt Debbie, you're not helping. You're not supporting them.
What's
Not
that old
have,
saying?
I don't mean once or twice.
Right.
And I might call you guys because I want to go to Red Lobster. Not, I hate Red Lobster, but you get the point. I don't mean once or twice, but I mean habitually.
Right. Right.
And then they figure out just how much money they can ask you for because they know you. So the other thing is often enablers are played by the people who they think they're helping.
Okay.
I had a friend once who came over and, you know, waved her, you know, arms. And I said, oh my God, I love that bracelet. I love that bracelet. She said, oh, I got it from so and so. And it was only $10, she said. And I was like, oh my God, I love it. And then 5 minutes later, she says, by the way, can I have $10? And then I was on to it. I said, oh, I get it. You spent your last $10 planning to come to me. You spent, I said, I've got $10, but you know why? I didn't buy a bracelet. I have $10 because I didn't, you know, I'm cooking at home. I have $10 because I'm holding on to my money. So you know, if I have money sometimes, it is because of how I'm spending. And if I become part of somebody's plan, I am enabling them to make poor judgments about how they are spending money.
That right there is the most common
Mhm.
a parent child situation. That right there is the most common one. But I asked both of you guys, have you ever known yourself at some point to have been an enabler to someone? I know I have, or to I've been an enabler to my entire family. And in that sense, I was the one that they could call for everything. Not monetarily. They could call me for to fix a flat, to pick them up from somewhere, to drop them off somewhere, to you know what I mean, to come, the car's broke, so you can do this, da, 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 da. And when I moved away, everybody had to figure it out. Everybody had to scramble.
And they did.
And they did. You know what I mean? So I while I was here, I was enabling them to just call say cool, call say cool, call say cool, call say cool, he'll do it, call say cool, he'll get it done, call say cool. And then when I left, they had to figure it out, and they did. It's not like they fell into obscurity because you know, because I left, but they did. You know what I mean? So I was an enabler at one point in my life. I do recognize that. So I'm asking you guys, have you ever seen yourself as an enabler to someone?
Well, how about tell the story about how I was enabled. I'll make it as brief. I'll make it brief. I was an artist. I spent 10 or 20 years, 15 years at that time making art. I was doing well. I got a boyfriend who liked, he started making art with me, and I loved it. It was one of the best relationships I ever had. And he was of a very strong mind, and he had strong opinions. And he would look at my work and he would say, oh, you should do it this way. No, you should do it that way. And I go, really? Yeah. And I allowed myself to be, you know, to become enabled. And then I noticed that when I was on my own making art, I was like, I have to help me.
Right.
So when I had done it on my own, so by him being the way he was, and I'm forever grateful for that because it was often helpful, but it actually weakened my own ability to make decisions about my own artwork because art is making decisions. What would have made it more balanced was when I would look at his work and I'd say, oh,
Mhm.
you made the woman's breasts up too high because a lot of men when they making women breasts, the breasts come out like that and they're up. And I was
Right.
like, honey, don't nobody's breasts look like that. Not even mine. Let me show you. And
So
I would point that out. He didn't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like
wow.
mutual support. It was he was establishing himself in my life as the man, as the one. And let me tell you, I confess that when it came down to what to eat, I was like, "What are we going to eat? What do you want to eat?" Because I had allowed myself to become
Be in.
Dependent on
dysfunctional
him, right,
and
right.
not be able to make decisions because I was so dependent upon him. And he
Right.
is a wonderful man. This is not my attempt to put him, to demonize him. I don't want to demonize him, but I had to be honest that I have a tendency, I can over rely on people. And I'll tell you, Boom, and anybody else listening, I want my apartment painted. I can't tell you how many times I've thought, call Boom, but I haven't, you know.
I want to jump right in here for a minute though. I want to jump in here first and say, shout out to Miss Teresa Phillips, who has become our fourth co-host today. Thanks for watching the show and all your comments. I've been reading them, even if I haven't read them out
I agree
loud.
with this one.
Always,
This one
yeah. Go
right
ahead,
here,
go
I
ahead,
so
please,
agree with
please.
it. I have a bunch of nieces, nephews that are grown. They made it hard for the younger ones. Yeah, that those old tricks don't work. Yeah, so yeah, I have a sibling right now that's the youngest and try those old tricks, and unfortunately it just does not work. We've been there, done that. It's not working on us. You gotta try somebody else.
Well, thanks for commenting, Teresa. It's been great having you with us for the show. As far as me, uh,
She's a
uh,
singer. Teresa is a fabulous jazz
oh, a friend of
singer.
yours. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
one day, Teresa, one day, if you don't mind, we would absolutely love to have you come on the show. We'll have to talk about it.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
We would absolutely love that.
Wow.
As far as me and enabling people, I think when we're young, we might enable people in some ways. We're maturing. We're trying to figure out the world, and so because of that, we're probably a little easy to take advantage of, right, in our younger years,
Uh-huh.
and people do. But as we grow older and we learn and we figure out things, we figure out how the world works and how people can take advantage of you. We learn to stick up for ourselves and cut people off when we realize that it's becoming.
Or you don't have to always cut people off because you created the problem. You know what I mean? This thing of cutting people off, I really don't. I take issue with that language. What you do is you establish healthy
The
boundaries.
boundaries. Right.
I love to do astrology. I could do all day for free because I love it that much. A boundary says you make an appointment. We're going to talk. We're going to talk for 90 minutes. I might go over, but I got a
Uh,
guideline and you pay me.
okay, I
You know,
just want to finish
so
my thought.
you know, so that's
Okay,
that's a
I
healthy
got I got
boundary.
what you said. Boundaries. I
Yeah,
got you. I
you
just
have to
want to
set.
finish my thought.
Yeah.
All right, but whatever. Cut people off, boundaries, however you want to describe it. We learn when enough is enough, everybody, and we start protecting
Yes.
ourselves a little better.
And thank you. I'm going to jump in here again. Thank you, Teresa, for saying that because Teresa is describing, she says, when my mom drank liquor, I always bought her something. So, what Teresa is describing is she enabled her mother to drink and she supported that and she said it was all right. I once had another boyfriend. I've had a couple in my time. I'm 72, never married. So what do you want from me? And I found out eventually that he was an addict. I think he smoked crack or something. I had never even heard of it. And I can remember I knew not to give him any money. I did not give him money. And so I went to Naranon, or which is the equivalent of Al-Anon for the family of friends of people who drink or use drugs. And
Hmm.
they said to me, baby, if you buy his cigarettes, you're enabling. So even though I wasn't giving him money, I was feeding him. I was buying his cigarettes. So I, in some way, made it easier for him to, to be an addict. And before we run out of time, I'm watching the clock. I think we should talk a little bit about supporting so that we have a healthy vision of what being a supporter is like. Can we do that?
Quickly.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to say anything about that, Shaheen?
About support.
A healthy supporting. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
go ahead. Go ahead.
the supporter might feel good from giving service, but they don't depend on giving service to make them feel good. See the
Okay.
difference?
All right. Okay.
And a supporter is when they first hear the problem, they don't assume that the person is helpless. Sometimes their best support is listening
Okay.
to the person
Okay.
and then asking the person what do they think they might do. A healthy
Mm,
supporter might provide help once or twice, but it is not an ongoing everyday thing. And the supporter deals with their own emotions when presented with a person who has a problem. They own their own feelings. They say, oh, this makes me feel uncomfortable. And they don't just jump in and help to make themselves feel better. A supporter makes a judgment that they can help this much, this far, and
And it stops there. They
boundary.
create that. They create that dead end.
Create that
what
boundary.
about you, Boom?
I was just gonna piggyback off of what Teresa was saying about her mom buying her alcohol.
Mm,
I think that's what helped my mom quit smoking because we had decided that we were no longer going to go to the store and buy cigarettes for her.
mm,
Um, and when I went to the army, she decided if I go to the army, she's going to quit smoking. She hasn't smoked since,
Wow.
which was in 1999. But I think that's what helped her because we took a stand and we was like, we're not going to watch you deteriorate, and we're contributing to the deterioration, So we stopped. We wouldn't, we would buy her anything else from the store. She wasn't sending us to buy alcohol, but that's back when you could get cigarettes. You didn't have to show ID, for
right.
cigarettes. But we just stopped. We wouldn't do it. Like I'm not buying you cigarettes. If you get cigarettes, you're gonna get them on your own. I'm not buying them for you. So I think that's what helped her stop smoking.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Well, listen, everybody. It's been a great show and a great topic. We want to thank everybody, not just Teresa,
Thank
for
you.
watching the show and for commenting and everything. God bless your mom. That's right. And so, for me, I mean, when we talk about support, I believe support is important. Everybody, my beliefs are that there
Mhm.
are positive and negatives in the universe. I mean, you want to help someone, but not to the point where it starts becoming a negative in your life and their life. Everybody, that's my opinion on it. Support each other out there, everybody. But more importantly, support yourself. Keep yourself intact before you start
Yeah.
helping anybody else. Everybody,
Yes.
that would be my advice. So, any last words, everybody, before we cut out?
What you said, Shaheen, support is having faith in the person's ability to tune into their own higher power to get the help that they need. And you are nobody's God. They got their own God. Let their God do it.
There you go. There you go.
I feel it.
What about you,
I,
Boom?
I do want to say, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
clarify to Teresa that in no way, shape, or form was I passing judgment. I was piggybacking off of her comment. So I hope
Mhm.
that she didn't take it as I was judging their situation. But I do want to say I have a fantastic opportunity coming up. Fingers crossed, positive energy sent my way on Tuesday. I am going to a meeting with the Merit Athletic Club here in Baltimore
All right,
to
all right, all
possibly bring my Shush and Get Fit program to their club.
right. Okay.
So I'm excited about that.
Wow.
I'm
All
very,
right.
very excited about that. So that's the last thing I want to say.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, good luck.
fantastic.
Well,
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't, Teresa.
put it up. I don't know what she said.
Oh, oh, she just was saying she didn't
Take
Okay. All right.
offense.
Okay.
take
Good.
offense.
Good.
Oh,
We
wrong
don't want
one,
anybody to take
wrong one.
offense.
Yeah. Good luck, cuz.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, before we cut out of here, like I said, we have a big reveal for you guys. We did finally come to a conclusion and agree on something that we thought would look great for a logo. We're gonna make just a little bit of changes so that the grammar is better. But this actually, ladies and gentlemen, is the new logo that we are picking for the show, everybody. So I
Here we
hope
go. Here we go.
that I hope that you guys love this. We like it, and it's going to be our new logo moving forward, everybody.
I'm going to
Here
be
we
doing
go. Here we go.
adjustments to it and I'll send it to you.
Okay, well, I think you did already.
I did, and they weren't incorporated. And so
Not
I'm just
yet.
going to
I'm a busy
refine it.
man. I will get to it
Yeah.
on Debbie. I
Yeah,
promise
I'll do
everybody.
it because it's
Oh, okay.
easy. I got all the components. It's easy.
Well, there you go. Okay, then I'm looking forward to seeing that, everybody. But that's what we came up with, everybody. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed this week's show, everybody. It was great having you all with us once again. So, again, from me, Aunt Debbie, Boom, and all her entire From the Shore to Be More family. It's been great having everybody here, but we gotta let you go so you can enjoy your weekend and we can enjoy ours, everybody. So until next time, from the family and From the Shore to Be More, we'll see you next weekend. Goodbye, everybody.
Absolutely. Teresa, tell your family to come on check me out at Loafers in Catonsville. They're here in Baltimore. Come on and have a good time with me. Yours truly, DJ Boom, making it do what it do.
There you go. There you go.
Bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you.
I just can't get enough of this song right here.
with